Hey everyone, welcome to the show. Have you ever felt like you were stuck in one of those high school movies?
Oh, yeah,
Like you're trying to act normal, but inside it feels totally different, you know?
definitely. That's like the classic high school experience, wanting to fit in.
Exactly. And today we're diving deep into that whole struggle,
Yeah.
especially in those crazy teenage years, right?
Yeah, for sure. Trying to fit in can really overshadow actually figuring out who you are.
Totally. It's like, which one matters more? That's exactly what we're looking at today. We're talking about How to Be Normal by Ange Crawford. It's a young adult novel.
Okay, cool.
There's a link to it on Amazon, by the way, in the description if you want to check it out. It's not just about surviving high school, though.
Yeah.
It gets into identity, family stuff, and friendships, all that good stuff.
Yeah, I get it. Those relationships can get messy,
Yeah,
especially when you're trying to figure out what normal even means.
exactly.
Hmm.
That's what's so interesting about this book. And what we're focusing on today are these key parts about Astrid. Yeah, she's homeschooled, and this is like her first time ever going to high school. We're going to see what she goes through, the stuff with her mom, and her first encounters with other students like Cathy and Leila.
Sounds interesting. Like, what are her first impressions?
Well, that's what we're trying to figure out. We're going to see what challenges she faces, the unexpected stuff that happens, and how she tries to understand what normal even is.
Yeah.
All this is coming straight from the book itself.
All right, straight from the source.
So Astrid starts off with this vision of high school like it's a movie.
Ah, I see. The whole teen movie fantasy.
Yeah, she wants that normal life she sees on screen.
Yeah.
But what really struck me was her preparation. It's intense.
Intense. How so?
It's almost comical. She has this checklist: hairstyle number 7, open body language, double deodorant.
Wow, she's going all out.
And get this, spare undies.
Spare undies. I mean, I guess you never know, but
It's like she's prepping for battle. It's kind of funny,
yeah.
but it really shows how anxious she is.
Right, like she's trying to control every possible thing that could go wrong.
But even with all that planning, there's this tension. She's excited, but also wants to be ordinary and boring. It's like she thinks being normal means disappearing.
That's so interesting, right? Wanting to fit in, but also wanting to be invisible.
It's a total contradiction,
Yeah.
especially since she's starting high school, where you'd think she'd want to connect with people.
Yeah, it's like that push and pull we were talking about.
Exactly. And it makes me think about her relationship with her mother. It feels a little off from the start. There's this small moment with the garbage truck, remember?
The garbage truck. Refresh my memory.
Astrid's dad says they don't have to pick up stray trash anymore, but her mom's like, absolutely not. It shows how strict she is with rules, even silly ones.
Oh, yeah, I see. So it's like her mom needs things a certain way.
Right. And then her mom suddenly gives her this bag of makeup out of nowhere.
Makeup. What was that about?
Astrid's reaction is hilarious. She thinks about how it's non-biodegradable and so unexpected.
That's funny. But is there something more to it?
Definitely. Her mom says it's expected at the firm. It's like these outside pressures are affecting even her gifts.
So it's not just a motherly gesture. There's something else going on there.
Totally. You can feel the tension in the car change. Astrid is freaking out about a single bead of sweat. It's like this gift caused a huge wave of anxiety.
Wow, that's a lot to unpack from just a gift of makeup.
It really is. And how does Astrid deal with it all? She squashes it down, she says, like the trash on the street. It just goes silent.
That's such a powerful image, isn't it? Like she's silencing her emotions.
Exactly. And that feeling carries all the way to the school drop-off. Her mom is hesitant, moving the car in tiny increments.
It's like she doesn't want to let go. Or maybe she's just uncomfortable with the whole situation.
Right. And then Astrid gets a hug and hopes she doesn't smell like garbage. It's heartbreaking, but it really shows how she's feeling.
Oh, wow. Yeah. That's a lot for Astrid to carry with her into this new experience.
Absolutely. And then boom, she's at school and it's a sensory explosion. Chatter, shrieks, squeals.
Yeah, that's high school, all right. So how does she react?
Complete sensory overload. And then, to top it all off, her period starts unexpectedly.
Oh, no. Talk about bad timing.
Right, all that planning, and she forgets about that. It's classic Murphy's Law. So she ends up in this messy bathroom, and that's where she meets Cathy.
Cathy? Who's that?
You'll see. So Astrid's in a panic, and Cathy, out of nowhere, offers her a spare pad. It's a small act of kindness, but so unexpected.
Okay, Cathy sounds cool.
She is. And then, feeling a little vulnerable, Astrid admits she was homeschooled.
That must have been a tough thing to admit.
You'd think so, right? But Cathy's reaction, completely chill. She says she's homeschooled too, until like a few hours ago.
Wow, no judgment at all. That must have been such a relief for Astrid.
It totally was. And then Cathy even lends Astrid her shorts because, well,
Of course, that's what friends do.
but get this. The shorts are too short and tight.
Oh, no. Poor Astrid.
It's funny, but you can feel how uncomfortable she is. And then there's this contrast. Cathy is just chilling, using her phone, breaking school rules.
Meanwhile, Astrid is trying so hard to blend in and not cause any trouble.
Exactly. It shows how different they are. So Astrid makes a quick escape, saying she needs to go to the office. And as they're parting, Cathy reminds her about the shorts.
Okay, so not a bad encounter, but a little awkward.
Yeah. And after that, Astrid feels lost, walking through the school grounds. She remembers feeling alone in a schoolyard 5 years ago. It's like this feeling of being invisible, even though she wants to fit in.
It's that inner conflict again, wanting to disappear, but also wanting to belong.
Exactly. It's like she feels rejected. And then she starts replaying all the awkward things she said to Cathy, and she gets hit with this wave of embarrassment.
Oof, we've all been there, right?
Totally. And then she sees her packed lunch and gets sad. It reminds her of her homeschooling lunches with her mom.
Oh, that's sweet. So she misses that connection with her mom.
Yeah. They used to listen to podcasts and have all these intellectual talks. It's like she lost something familiar and safe.
It makes sense that she'd feel that way. High school can be a big adjustment.
It really is. And then later in class, there's this weird interaction with another student, Leila. She gives Astrid this wink, but Astrid doesn't get it.
Oh, wink. That's a bit strange, especially if they don't know each other.
Right. And then the whole class starts talking, leaving Astrid feeling forgotten. It's like she's on the outside looking in.
Yeah, not knowing the social cues can make you feel really lost.
And it gets worse. Every time Astrid looks at Leila, Leila is looking back. Astrid gets nervous and puts up her emotional wall.
It's like she's shutting everyone out to protect herself.
Totally. So feeling overwhelmed, she thinks about going to the music block. Maybe it'll be a quiet space to gather her thoughts.
The music block. That's interesting.
But she's not even sure she's allowed in there. She doesn't know the rules.
It's like she's afraid to do anything wrong.
Right. But then guess who shows up? Cathy.
Cathy again. What a coincidence.
It's like fate. Cathy is just getting water, and she invites Astrid into the music room. Another unexpected moment of connection.
Cathy seems like a really good person to have around in this new environment.
She really is. Inside the music room, it's totally different. It smells like resin. There's colorful paper on the notice board. It's a creative space.
That sounds much more welcoming than the rest of the school.
Astrid hesitates, but follows Cathy. She hasn't met anyone else who's been so kind.
It makes sense that she'd be drawn to Cathy.
They pass by a room with people singing, and then Cathy just goes in, saying bye. Astrid is disappointed, but then she sees another room that smells like new computers. And that's where things get interesting.
New computers? What's in there?
That's where we learn about Astrid's passion. Music software, specifically Ableton.
Ableton, like the music production software.
Yep, it's her thing. But it wasn't always easy. She used to feel intimidated by musicians who seemed so natural. It shows her journey with music hasn't been a walk in the park.
It's always inspiring to see someone find their passion, even when it's challenging.
Totally. Ableton became her way to express herself, even if it felt technical at first. She learned everything through online tutorials.
So she's self-taught. That's impressive.
She is. These online voices teaching her about sound design became like a connection to the outside world. It shows how resourceful she is.
And how much she craved that connection, even if it was online.
Exactly. So she gets her headphones to the laptop, finds a spot on the floor, and all the sounds from her crazy first day are in her head. The laughter, the alarms, the conversations.
Wow, it's like she's trying to process it all through music.
That's exactly it. Music is where it all comes together for her. Deeper than words, she says. Ableton becomes her safe space, a way to find order in all the chaos.
It's like she's turning those overwhelming emotions into something tangible.
And she starts experimenting with samples, trying to find a sound that matches what she's feeling inside. And she finds it. A long, drawn-out sound that captures that uncertainty and anticipation.
It's amazing how music can do that, capture feelings that are hard to put into words.
Right. She fills her music with this one note, holding on to that feeling. It's a private moment of trying to understand her day.
It's like she's creating her own soundtrack to her high school experience.
Exactly. But then, suddenly, Cathy comes back. Astrid freaks out and slams her laptop shut. She's mortified that someone heard her music.
Oh no, that must have been terrifying for her.
It was. But Cathy's reaction is totally unexpected.
Yeah.
She's like, don't be embarrassed. I think it's good. And then she mentions the school talent quest.
Wow, really?
Yeah. She's a singer and wants to collaborate with Astrid. What a twist.
That's amazing. Talk about a confidence booster.
Astrid is stunned.
Uh,
She's uneasy, but also drawn to the idea of connecting with Cathy, maybe even becoming friends.
it's like this opportunity just fell into her lap, but it requires her to be vulnerable.
Totally. So Astrid's first day was a roller coaster, right? Trying to fit in, awkward moments, but also kindness and unexpected connection.
It's a perfect snapshot of what it's like to be a teenager, figuring it all out.
Absolutely. And it makes me think about our own experiences, starting a new school, a new job, anything like that.
Right. Those first times can be both exciting and scary.
What were your first experiences like? What awkward moments or acts of kindness do you remember? How did those shape you?
It's always interesting to think about those moments, right? How they shaped our understanding of belonging and being ourselves.
Totally. So that wraps up our deep dive into how to be normal. We hope you enjoyed hearing about Astrid's experiences. What was your favorite part? Let us know in the comments. And if you like this episode, please hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss out on our future deep dives.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining us.
It's been a pleasure. Until next time.
See you then.